Yo guys, how's it going, and welcome back to another video and yet another race reaction for the 2021 season. Only 4 races to go now in 2021. Honestly, it feels like yesterday we were starting the championship. This year's absolutely flown by, but today we're going to be talking about the Mexican Grand Prix. And just before we start as well, if I do look a bit different or the picture looks a bit different, it's because I am recording on my brand new phone, the Samsung S21, the brand new one. I think it's the latest one to come out, I think. So that's why the picture looks a little bit different. So it's cool to record on a new phone and have a new camera in front of me. But without further ado, let's get into the Mexican Grand Prix. So let's start where we always start then, and that is Red Bull winning once again. Max Verstappen taking 25 points away after making a brilliant start. Bottas, it has to be said, wasn't great into turn one. It was obviously Hamilton saw a chance to lean into turn one, but Bottas didn't really give Hamilton the slipstream. They sort of went 3 abreast, and Verstappen just went swooping around the outside, never looked back after that. So very, very dominant from Verstappen once again. I feel like if he keeps performing like this, staying out of trouble, he's definitely going to win this Drivers' Championship. Unfortunately, it hurts to say, but I feel like it's the absolute truth. So really good job from Verstappen once again this season, just proving that he's got talent, that boy. Honestly, he's going to have multiple world championships in the near distant future. And Sergio Perez as well. Obviously, the home Grand Prix. And at the end of the race, it honestly felt like he had actually won the Grand Prix. In WTF1's review your 3-word race review, I actually put did Perez win? Because honestly, the amount of support that the Mexicans have for the sport anyway. And then also with Perez being there as well, just absolutely electric atmosphere. So a really good job from both Red Bulls, and yeah, Perez once again showing that he's coming to his own in these last few Grand Prix. So next up is Mercedes then, obviously Lewis Hamilton taking second place, and obviously got very interesting in qualifying as well. Obviously with both Mercedes being on the front row, it was kind of a shock to a lot of people. Obviously Red Bull have dominated the track in recent years, but yeah, no, just a very odd feeling with both Mercedes being on the front row, but obviously didn't stay like that. Bottas got taken out, which I'll talk about in a second. But yeah, Lewis just tried to run his own race, really. Red Bulls had so much more pace throughout the race. Their race pace was definitely better than their qualifying pace. I think they're having some issues as well in qualifying with the Red Bull rear wing, and they were trying to sort out with tape and stuff during qualifying. So I don't know if that was the major issue for qualifying. But yeah, Hamilton just tried to stay on track, and he managed to hold on to second place. Obviously, he had Perez chasing him down for the last like 20 laps or so. But yeah, very good. Very good from Lewis. And Bottas, like I said, got taken out at turn 1 by Daniel Ricciardo. Got a fantastic start, but Bottas broke so early, and Ricciardo sort of locked up a little bit, and they sort of just came together, unfortunately. I think it was a racing incident, personally. The FIA didn't really deny it as a full penalty, but obviously the damage was done anyway because he lost his front wing and he had to come into the pit, so they were both at the back anyway. And then yeah, pretty much a race for Bottas you want to forget, just stuck behind Ricciardo literally the whole entire Grand Prix. Then obviously had the bad pit stop, and then pretty much at the end of the race just took the fastest lap away from Verstappen, once again showing that these critical points may determine the championship. But absolutely crazy. So next up again is AlphaTauri. Pierre Gasly once again finishing in P4. I can't believe it. This guy is honestly having a fantastic season, which I feel is really going unnoticed, and it's such a shame because, like I've mentioned it in previous race reactions, he is such a talent and he deserves a better seat than this AlphaTauri that he's in. Obviously, AlphaTauri is a good car and it's a good team, but it just needs a little bit. He needs a little bit more, unfortunately. Obviously, he got that chance at Red Bull, but Red Bull took him out half a season. But yeah, he definitely deserves a better seat than the AlphaTauri, but a great drive from Pierre Gasly nonetheless. And then Yuki Tsunoda also DNF'd right at turn 1, got taken out by Ocon, sort of sandwiched Ocon, and he took out Schumacher and Tsunoda at the same time. So yeah, no points for Tsunoda, and obviously Tsunoda had that controversial moment in qualifying as well when Perez sort of went off the track, and then people were wondering if that sort of disturbed Verstappen as well, getting pole. But either way, not a great day for Yuki Tsunoda. A team that did have a good day was Ferrari. Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz finishing in 5th and 6th, just behind Gasly. Really good show from Ferrari. Once again, having a really good weekend. I thought, to be honest, they were going to be a little bit higher than they were, but didn't quite have the pace compared to the Mercedes and Red Bull. But nonetheless, a really good weekend for Ferrari, and they jump way ahead of McLaren in the constructors now as well. Obviously, that was a very close battle, and I still feel like it is a close battle between those two. It's going to be interesting to see how that one turns out. But yeah, I think they're over 10 points now in the constructors. So yeah, really good job from Ferrari. Next up is Aston Martin. Sebastian Vettel finishing in 7th. Had quite a quiet race, to be honest. Just kept out of danger in turn 1 and then just sort of had the pace to carry on and finish in 7th. So yeah, really good whole points for Aston Martin there. And Lance Stroll finished in 14th. I think he got caught up in turn 1. I'm not really too sure, but we didn't really see much of him anyway. Didn't really have any pace or anything like that. He did have the crash in qualifying, and I think he did have a grid penalty as well. But yeah, didn't really have the pace to work his way up through the field. Another team that will be happy for some points is Alfa Romeo. Kimi Raikkonen, once again, a bit like Sebastian Vettel, just stayed out of danger at turn 1, had the pace and really held his own, really. P8 for Kimi Raikkonen and Giovinazzi in 11th as well. So close to points again for Giovinazzi, but he actually was up in like P6 after like turn 1, I think, but unfortunately didn't have the pace to stay there. But yeah, once again, a really good strong showing from Alfa Romeo. So next we'll do Alpine. Fernando Alonso finished in 9th, and Esteban Ocon, like I mentioned at the beginning, he only finished in 13th place. Got caught up at turn 1, and obviously Alonso everyone was expecting him just to cut across the grass, take the mick with the track limits again, but unfortunately didn't see it. But yeah, no, once again a quiet race for Alonso. Really, I think he had a few battles here and there, but yeah, more points for Alpine, and then yeah, like I said, Ocon. Sort of got sandwiched at the beginning, and yeah, didn't really see much from him either. So next up is McLaren. McLaren had quite a disappointing weekend, to be honest. It has to be said. Obviously, after Ricciardo sort of smashed into Bottas at turn 1, his race was pretty much ruined. Obviously, had to come to the pits for a new front wing, and then he was at the back of the grid, and he managed to get up to 12th. Sorry. But yeah, once again, out of the points, sort of ruined his race at turn 1. And then Lando Norris obviously had a grid penalty, so he came up to 10th, which is still quite a good result. But yeah, no, obviously just a point for McLaren this weekend. And they've really dropped off at the end of this season. I think I said it in the American Grand Prix race reaction that they've really dropped off, especially Lando. He's definitely not on that same level that he was at. I don't know if it's down to the tracks or what, but yeah, it's a bit of a disappointment. But yeah, still a point for McLaren nonetheless. And the two teams that we never hardly see on TV, that's Williams and Haas. George Russell finished in 16th, Latifi 17th, and Mazepin in last. And then obviously, like I said, Mick Schumacher got taken out at the start. Didn't really see any of the Williams or Haas's throughout the Grand Prix. Normally they have like a little tussle or there's something controversial going on, like someone's crashing into someone, but we didn't even get any of that really. So yeah, once again, a disappointing weekend for Williams, and Haas once again nowhere. So there we go, guys, for the race reaction for the Mexican Grand Prix. Like I said, I can't believe we've literally got 4 races to go in 2021. It's going to get very juicy. Obviously, Verstappen now has a 19-point lead at the top, which I feel like is quite a big gap when there's 4 races left. But, you know, it does take just one DNF, Hamilton to win, and he's right back in the championship, leading by like 6 points or however many it is. So, yeah. Very interesting. Obviously, we've got Saudi Arabia and Qatar as well that we're going to go to. We have no idea who's going to benefit from those tracks, what's going to happen. Everyone's new to the circuits. So yeah, it's going to be very exciting. Obviously, Abu Dhabi's had a change as well. People are asking if Brazil is going to favour Red Bull or Mercedes more. To be fair, I feel like it will favour Red Bull, but we said that about Mexico, and then Mercedes qualifying on the front row. My head's exploding. I literally don't know what to believe in this season at the moment. So it's absolutely crazy. But if you have enjoyed this video, guys, please do give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. And I will see you all again in the next one. Take care.